Bonjour, everyone. Bonjour. Don't know why I'm speaking in French today, but I'll give it a go. Evening, everybody. Chip and Cheen are back. It's been a long 2-3 weeks. When Cheen goes on a break, I decide to take a little stroll as well on Fridays. Although I did join Asim, I think 2 weeks ago on the Friday. But no, look, we've both been lackluster. We're back. I had to send out John Henry's private jet to get him out of Islamabad, Pakistan, but he's finally out. He was captive for a while, but Gene, what's going on? No suntan, koi suntan, koi nahi hai. Was it cold out there? What's going on?
Avi, it was the perfect weather, man. 28, 29 degrees, 3.5 weeks away. You come back, top of the table. I can't complain. But honestly, Avi, I really enjoyed it. It's really nice. It's the best time of the year to go to Pakistan. I think that anyway, because it's not too hot, not too warm. You get to see everything. You can actually enjoy the weather, and obviously it was a family wedding, so obviously that took a bit of time. But it was nice, man. Nice little getaway.
Family wedding, Pakistan cricket team finally winning again. All things positive when it comes to Pakistan. Talking of positivity, Gene, we'll go straight into it. It's been quite a whirlwind week. We've seen a new president come in, controversially. If you sound your opinions on Twitter, it seems you're a bad person in general. So it is what it is. Love for the love. And Liverpool, Gene, let's go straight into it. I know you've been missing for a few weeks now, but we're still top of the league. We're title contenders. We're coming for that title, and we're top of the Champions League as well. What a start for Arne Slot. None of us could have dreamt.
No, sir, none of us.
None of us could have dreamt the start that he's made.
Okay.
In terms of how many games he's won, the only one loss, the 2 draws. What a start it's been for Arne Slot. What have you made in the last 2-3 weeks? And what did you make of Tuesday's game? Well, no, Tuesday's game with Leverkusen.
Avi, look, like you mentioned, we couldn't have dreamed about this start. Like you mentioned, every single football fan, all eyes were on Liverpool, all eyes were on Jurgen Klopp leaving, and what Arne Slot was going to do. And to be sat here after 10 league games, top of the table, 2 clear of City and 7 ahead of Arsenal, played 4-1-4 in the Champions League.
Me and you both called it, didn't we? Me and you both called it that we were top of the league.
Basket.
What?
Oh, yeah, you little basket. Don't you even go there.
No, on the Premier League preview show, did we both not say Liverpool to win the league?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And I said it after you had this speech, like as if you were in the Gladiators. You said this proper speech, like inspiring speech, say, boys, fuck Arsenal. We're winning the league, mate. We're taking it, Potter, we're taking it. And that made me change my mind and say, listen, boys, if Gina's got that much energy, I am on the Gina train. Forget everything else.
You did say that. Can I just?
I'm on the Gina train. Yes
right,
or no?
Okay. Can I change? Yes, you did. 150%. You said all of that. You said, Gina, I'm with you 100%. And in that show, you were with me. But Avi, you left after that game against Forest. You changed your tune, man. You said on that show, and I can replay the clock, man. I don't forget things. And you go, Chine, I fell for your bloody show, man. I fell for your amazing speech that day. I don't think we're gonna win the league. Arsenal City. I mean, you made a grave mistake that day, bro. You made a grave mistake. You should have backed the team, man. You should have backed the team.
You know when it's a real show. You know when it's a real Chip and Cheen show. When one of our own is in the building. Yes, Shaji! Shaji, Saab! That's for you. Top of the league, Shah. Give me a call one of these days. Give me a call on WhatsApp, man. I miss you, man. I miss our late night talks. But big up Fahim Shah. Big up everyone that's in the comment. Make sure you like and subscribe. But Gene, come back to me for Leverkusen because they played well. They set out their stall in the first 45 minutes. Their press was very. Ooh, he's gone out of the stream. I was gonna say to Gene that they set up very well. They were pressing very well, but as we've seen, if you've been watching Leverkusen this season, second half there is a bit of a drop off. It's been a bit of a big drop off because they're not scoring late goals, they're not creating as much. The pressing has dropped off. Just talking about Leverkusen this season, Gene, that second half in every game they've played, the drop off has been quite damning. You could say.
Yeah.
First half they pressed well. Grimaldo was getting in. He was knitting things together with Florian Wirtz, who was the linchpin. Boniface was kind of, trying to be busy. But second half, Gene, as soon as Jones gets that bit of space, gets that little turn and that weighted pass, we've been speaking about it, me, Sarib and Aston, we've been speaking about that weighted pass, just the one that he played with Brighton on the weekend. Follows that up on Wednesday. What a ball. And my man, Luis Diaz. What a performance. But speak to me about that second half, team.
Obviously, I was in PK watching the game. It's pretty late, and going by that first half performance, we were not great. I thought Leverkusen played well, but I didn't think they created, let's say, many clear-cut opportunities. But that second half performance was that, boys. If we had to put a statement down to every single side in Europe that this Liverpool team is ready and is ready to go again for the Champions League, that was the statement performance. Unbelievable performance. Luis Diaz, and you mentioned Curtis Jones, Avi, and there was times where, look, I'm going to be the first one to hold my hands up here and say I doubted him. I doubted his ability in terms of could he cut it at Liverpool 3 years ago? But to be able to have the nous to be able to play that unbelievable pass, that was an unbelievable pass. That is a defense splitting pass, which we don't really see Liverpool do. How many times have we really seen a pass like that? We don't really see it, Avi, if we're honest. And he managed to play that beautifully weighted pass. An unbelievable finish from Diaz. Again, Diaz, he got a hat trick. That's 4 goals in 2 games. Was it 9 goals for the season for Diaz? He's another guy. Look, I doubt
9 and 15 now, Gene. And we want your numbers. At the beginning of the season, you were harping on, and look, I'm going to come for you today because, Gene, I think I can get you while you're vulnerable. You know, your first show back, you're going to have a bit of rustiness in the ring. But you were harping on Ponky about Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon? I want Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon will be a Liverpool player. You were harping on about that from June to August, September. And I said to you, look, I kind of get where you're coming from because he's delivered. Luis Diaz, he got 13 and 53. Those weren't the numbers that we're looking for, especially when you're comparing him unfairly to Sadio Mane on the left, who was scoring in his 20s every season. You know, he was doing incredible numbers. Luis Diaz this season has taken the mantle, has taken it upon himself, and is producing. Even when he's quiet, he's still affecting games with his aggressive press. He's constant running, dribbling has got improved. He's going on the outside, coming on the inside, cutting in. You know, he sometimes has been that lone ranger in the front three when the other two have been sort of like, you know, struggling to get up to par. But Luis Diaz, arguably one of the, so many great players this season already for us. But Luis Diaz has been one of the bright stars, hasn't he, Gene? And at 27, he's entering those peak years.
Yeah, Avi, look, I doubted him simply because, and you know, you mentioned the word output. That is what I cry out from our forwards, and that's because that's what wins you titles. You need to, you can't simply rely on Salah, and especially if you look at the back end of last season when Salah got injured, towards every single forward wasn't on it. Gakpo was at 10 goals, Diaz 11 goals, Nunes I think was on about 16 in all competitions. That's simply not good enough to win you a title. And you know, we do compare him to Sadio Mane at times, but I'm not saying become Sadio Mane, but your output has to be around 15 to 18 goals especially in the league if you want to go and win a title. So look, I have to give Diaz a lot of credit. If for me, it was never about his ability, it was never about his work rate, because he has possessed every single one of them traits. But it's a numbers game. And if you're playing for a club like Liverpool, you have to be able to produce the numbers. Gordon was playing and still playing well in Newcastle. That's what Bob says. Look, Gordon was producing the numbers last season, so it made sense. If you've been at Liverpool for 2.5 years and you're not banging in goals,
he had his injuries as well, Gene. He came halfway through the 2022 season. He then gets injured at Arsenal with Partey that gives him one. Last season, he had his dad, the issues with his old man getting kidnapped, right? And then, you know, he was finding form and then losing form, and he was struggling for form. But this season, you know, under Slot, something's changed. I do also factor in that I think Jurgen, I think he had become tiresome. He couldn't get the tune out of a Cody Gakpo or Luis Diaz where he could with a Bobby, a Sadio, and a Salah. He couldn't get those two to be. He couldn't elevate those two to the levels of that we've previously seen. But I think with Arne Slot, whatever's happened, whatever's been tweaked, he's getting a tune out of all the forwards.
He's got a new lease of life, Aviane. A new manager's come in. He's giving him the chance to be the sort of starter on that left hand side, and he's really taken that chance. And to produce the numbers that he's produced so far are honestly incredible. Of course, look, we do want a lot more assists for him, and you know, I understand the people that had doubts over Diaz, Avi. If you look at the last two and a half seasons, forget the goals. His assist numbers weren't even there either. So you know, if you're not scoring goals, at least produce the numbers in terms of assists. He wasn't even doing that. But look, you have to hold You got to give the lad a lot of credit, man. I'm honestly in awe of him, the way he started this season. If he can continue this form, anything's possible because the talent's there. And you know, in the game against Leverkusen, he played him in the 9. You know, 3 goals, 2 that beautifully weighted finish for the first one. You know, strikers sort of goals the second and third one where he got the chance and he put it away. That is what we want from our forwards. When you get the sort of chance, you put it away and you're good enough to put it away. And that's what he's showing. And look, I know Sarib and these guys and you guys spoke about us. I watched your, you came on at the end and spoke about Cody Gakpo. Look, I'm not against Cody Gakpo, but I want Luis Diaz to start because Luis Diaz's numbers completely make sense right now. There's no way I would take a Luis Diaz out of this team. And it's a really, really good headache for Ocelot where he's got Gakpo who looks like he's in form, Diaz who's in incredible form. Salah is Salah. Salah will always get you the numbers. Of course, in terms of our number 9, Darwin might not have the numbers right now, but I've seen enough of him this season where, you know what, it's coming together. He's beginning to do a lot more, play more for the team. And
Cheen,
our forward line looks good now.
Would you continue playing Diaz as a 9 against, like, say Villa tomorrow? I think he's up against Konza, maybe Diego Carlos. I'm not sure at the centre backs. People can correct me if I'm wrong. Would you play him as a 9 tomorrow again?
Pau Torres was 100%.
Pau Torres too. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Pau Torres too. Would you play him as a 9 tomorrow? You know, funny enough, I think that's when he does the most damage. You know, one of his first performances, or his first goal for Liverpool against Norwich, it was in the league or maybe in FA Cup. He scored with similar to Tuesday's goal. It was a delicate chip with his left foot, but he was coming from a central position. I think he could do his damage. And I did a show with Grizz when he first signed, and I said on that show as well, I said, I see him as a number 9. I see him as a future number 9 in this team. And then obviously, you know, we were going back and forth because the position that he's playing for Porto was coming in from the left. But I said, no, I believe he will be playing in that 9. I think that's where he can do the most devastating. That's where he can do the most devastating damage to the opposition. But I think Aston said it as well. I think it's fluid to see what fits game by game. I think that's where Slot comes in. I think that's where Slot's been brilliant. He just makes the perfect changes. Your thoughts on Diaz as a permanent 9, though, and Gakpo off the left? Because I don't think you can drop Cody Gakpo right now either. If he's performing and putting the numbers up, you've got to make space. You've got to accommodate the both of them.
Okay, Avi, 1 second. Look, I just want to apply some context to this. Cody Gakpo has played, God, I don't know how many games he started or how many games he's played this season. What I do know, and people might come for me in the chat, is he's had decent performances, but he's got 1 league goal. Right? Let's not be on the
bench. A lot of people coming off the bench.
Relax. I'm just relax.
Yeah, he's got 6 in 15 right now. He's got 6 in 15.
I'm not having a go at him. Right? I'm not having a go at him. He's got 1 league goal in the league this season, and I think he started 4 or 5 games this season. He started at least 4.
Darwin has 1 in 10.
Listen, he's just relax.
Jota's only got 2. Jota's only got 2 in 11.
Relax, man. Let me.
How many has Jota got in the league though? No, because that's not fair. Okay, sorry. Finish. Sorry.
Cody Gakpo's got a decent amount of goals in the League Cup. But look, fair to play. To be fair, his performance has been very good. That's one thing I will give you, Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo's performances have been really have been good, and I respect that. And Adnan says, don't change if it's working. Yeah, I agree with you. Why do Liverpool need to change it? We're bang on form in every single season that we're talking. We're banging form. We played 10, won 8, drawn 1, lost 1. The game that we lost, we should have won. Yeah, it was just a shit performance. We have to stick with the way we're playing. Diaz has to play from the left hand side because that's where he's producing the numbers. Why would you want to take that away from him? Darwin Nunes right now, he will come good. And people will know that been on this chat will tell you there is no.
You wanted him sold. You wanted Darwin.
Nobody, Bobby, I will remember one thing with me. Yes, I did want him sold at the end of summer. I wasn't the only one. I think quite a lot of people agreed with me. Yeah, I wanted him sold because I wanted another striker, but he's a Liverpool striker right now. Jota's not in. Jota's obviously injured. He's not going to be back for a good few weeks. So Darwin is in our 9. Darwin hasn't played badly.
No, he hasn't.
Right, number 1, he hasn't. And Avi, has he really missed? And what I crucified Darwin for was one thing. Just put the sitters away.
But your microphone, your microphone. It's not working. Chutti.
No, man.
Sarib Jones says sorry, but Gakpo has been fantastic. That's your rebuttal.
He's been very good. Look,
you're still mute. You're still mute. What's going on? I can do this by myself if you want me to. I don't mind today. Quaz thing in the building. Yes, Quaz. Saja, you're talking about last season. Yeah, I think he is.
Can you hear me now?
Gina, what's going on? Audio. I think he's still stuck in Pakistan, 3G. I think he's working off his 3G. We'll come back to it. Gene, you fix out your audio issues. What a mess. What a mess. He isn't. Gene's working.
Avi, you're a lying basket. You're such a lying basket.
No, I can't hear him.
Of course they can hear me, man.
What? Why can't I hear you then?
You're an idiot, that's why.
God, what a
Look at this guy. Listen, mine's a bloody road.
Gene, can you hear me?
Can you not remember I invested? Of course I can
hear
you.
Hold on. Say something.
They can hear me fine.
No, I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
God. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, this need to
continue.
Look at this guy. This guy's been having a go at me for not investing in a mic. I'm the one that's bloody invested in a mic. Mine works. But look, guys, we've spoken about Cody Gakpo. I'm not saying that Cody Gakpo's been bad. But I heard shouts about Cody Gakpo starting over Luis Diaz. And for me, guys,
that doesn't make sense. Gene, hello. I can't hear you.
Right, let me just message it on the group.
I legit can't hear you.
I need to message him privately, guys. Sorry, man. Go out and come. Yeah, I was speaking about for me. It was more about when I was hearing shouts about Cody Gakpo starting over Luis Diaz. That for me just doesn't work right now. Cody Gakpo is a good player. He's had a decent start to the season, but no way would I start him over Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz has been on form, and you don't like Adnan mentioned earlier. You don't change a winning formula. And look, I have to respect everybody's opinions and stuff, and fair play to, and I think that there were Sarib's opinions. But look, I would always start Luis Diaz on that left-hand side. And yes, I've been Darwin Nunes' biggest critic, but Darwin Nunes has proved to me in the games that he's played this season that he has enough in him that, you know what, when the chance falls, he will put it away, because he's not had many chances produced to him where he's missed them chances. He's actually done really well when he's played. So look, I want us to stick with Salah, Diaz, and Nunes up top. Ave, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Sorry, guys.
I mean, having a go at me for no reason.
Ave,
you pleb. Ave's at least 100% right.
My bad. I couldn't hear you. You know, it happened last week as well. Cheen moving on from Diaz, Nunes, chat. Curtis Jones. There were some people that I know who wanted Emil Smith Rowe over him, who preferred Emil Smith Rowe over him. And I think both of them have taken a different path. I think Emil Smith Rowe is a fantastic player, but I think their roles are very different as well now. Curtis Jones has become an all-rounder. For me, he's, at the moment, he's the informed midfielder for our team. I know Gravenberch has been superb, don't get me wrong. But in terms of quick decisions, in terms of releasing that ball quicker, he's gotten so much better. Even Slot alluded to it today in his pre-match interview presser. He said, I still need him to release that ball quicker. But what a turnaround for Curtis Jones. If only now he stays fit, because the form is there. The form is there. We know he can play in that 10, he can play in that 8, he can harass, he can press. He's statistically meeting all the metrics that our team is looking for in the way we build up, in the way we press forward. He can play as that 4, like people were saying, only Szoboszlai can do this, only Szoboszlai can do that. He's ahead of Szoboszlai by a country mile as of now. As of today, he's ahead of him by a country mile, because Szoboszlai is struggling.
Avi, Szoboszlai is struggling, but so is McAllister. And that's the simple truth. And I know me, you, and Asim have had this conversation about McAllister. And I think you guys did a show during the week in regards to McAllister. But we'll come back to McAllister. But in regards to Jones, Avi, what can you say? The talent was always there. He had to just go onto the pitch and produce it. We saw glimpses of it over the last couple of years, where he's had a good end of the season. A couple of years ago, where we thought, you know what, Curtis Jones has saved his career. If we can see this Curtis Jones next season, we will be there. And there was times last season where he was really, really good. But again, availability was an issue. He always seems to get injured. And he always got injured where I felt we needed him, because we'd have other injuries in that area. We needed Curtis to start, and the lad will pick up a bloody injury, and we're like, for flip's sake, we're back to square one. But the way he's played this season, and why you have to give him a lot of credit, Avi, is the big games. He turned up against Chelsea, and he showed how good he was. Leverkusen at home, he showed how good he was.
Even Brighton was a tough game. Brighton was a tough game, Putin.
Brighton, exactly. He came on and look at that. He did with the way he carried the ball, played that 1-2 with Diaz, and played in Salah. He's actually, and he's not, he got a goal against Chelsea, he got assist against Brighton. He's beginning to show the numbers, and every time he comes on, there's not, and there was, I accused him, Avi, a few years ago. I don't know if you can remember. I accused Jones of going into hiding. Can you remember that game against City? Sorry, where I accused Jones of hiding. Mate, he doesn't hide now.
I tell you what, John, when he first came to this team, we were expecting the free-flowing midfielder or attacker that we've seen for the under-18s, under-21 level, and he was putting up serious numbers at that level. When you get to the first team, and I think because of a positioning change, because Klopp didn't see him as a 10, and he didn't want him to have this free role. I don't think he commanded that free role because he was young. He turned him into almost like a Genie Ronaldo, like a hard-working workhorse for the team. I think it's taken him a few years, but I definitely agree with you. He wasn't risk adverse when he first broke through. He wouldn't try these telling passes or break between the lines. He was playing very safe, and we were always kind of saying, and I agree with you, Cheen, he was always a cautious player. But now he's taking that risk. He's taking a dribble. He is making the yards up. He will take the ball from deep areas and just go on a dribble. He will go on a run, and he will make up space and then set off an attack. I think he's taking the risk now. I also think that he's got a little bit of freedom in the system as well under Slot. I think Slot has also said, look, go and be a little bit more expressive. Whereas under Klopp, it was like, look, contain. We've got the front three who will do the damage,
Yeah, look, got to get. And another thing that I actually had to go at him, because I always felt as though he's always holding onto the ball too long. Where there were times where he'd actually get caught. But boy, he seems that he goes onto that pitch now and he's ready to show whoever he's up against how good he is. Because the talent of him was always there. And yeah, Kwasi mentions maturity, and that's a fantastic word to use. He's probably matured. He's becoming a more of a man. And Arne Slot mentioned in his presser today, look, he's had a baby boy now. Maybe that's one of the reasons. It just, when you have a child, and I hope there's all the people out there who've had one and who haven't, and I hope those who haven't get a chance to experience that, it does sort of change you. You become a lot more, responsible in the way you are and in how you've acted as well. So look, if this is what having a baby boy or baby girl means, that it revitalizes that person. You become a lot more mature, and we're seeing a different side to Curtis Jones, because he has all the markings of an unbelievable midfielder in this Liverpool midfield, especially being a Scouser, because he's homegrown. He's one of our own. He's been through the youth, and he gets it. And that's really, really important, having a player who actually gets it, who understands what Liverpool is about, and having a player like him and the way he's playing. If he carries on, Avi, quick question to you, Avi. If he carries on the way he's playing, he starts on the weekend.
Yeah, he's starting against Villa tomorrow, yeah.
Yep. So you'd have him, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai tomorrow.
I would go with Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, and the reason for that is because I think Rodgers, Ramsey, and McGinn, I think those were the three starting against Spurs, and I think that was a genuinely off day. But I think Villa are struggling a little bit. I think the Champions League now has deterred them a little bit in the league. So they are suffering at the moment, but they've got runners. Ramsey's a big runner. Rodgers, we've seen him. What a player he is. I mean, he's a delight to watch. Yeah. And we hate central dribblers at us. Our midfield, even through the times of when we had Hendo, Fabinho, Ronaldo, we would struggle sometimes with players that can just dribble through us centrally. And those three, McGinn, workhorse, they've got legs in that midfield. So tomorrow I would go with Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and Jones. Who's that fourth kind of attacker from us? I would still say put Szoboszlai there and then Jones further back. But I think that will be fluid as well. I think it'll be a fluid situation. I even think we could see Szoboszlai dropping back as well, because Szoboszlai right now on the ball, Cheen, I look at the way it passes against Brighton when he set up Salah. I saw the way it passed with Diaz from Jones again on Tuesday. Szoboszlai hasn't got that in him at the moment.
Yeah,
he hasn't got that at the moment. He's got that quality. We've known that, but we haven't seen it for a long, long time. Coming onto the midfield area, McAllister, Cheen, people are saying he's carrying an injury. People are saying he's not suited to the system on the left-hand side. He hasn't got the kind of legs to be performing. What do you think it is? Because last season we saw him in a sitting six at times last season where he was superb. He had a good start to the season. He had a little bit of a knock. Do you just think it's just a bit of poor form, or do you think there's more to it? Do you think the system is not suiting him at the moment? What do you think?
Look, I'm McAllister's biggest fan, and you obviously and most of the channel people that watch this channel will tell you. For me, look, we had that injury before before he went to the international break. It probably has a little bit of an effect on it. Yes, he struggled for form over the last few weeks. There were some difficult games, and he wasn't playing. He didn't play well against Chelsea, Arsenal. Really bad against Brighton, but I thought against Leverkusen, I thought he had a decent game.
He had a good second half. Second half for sure. He definitely had a good.
Yeah. For me, look, he's just bad form, man. McAllister is too good of a player for for anybody to say he's dropped. I know Asim's gonna come. I'm gonna put Asim's coming up because I know Asim said he'd flipping want to have McAllister on. He'd have Jones, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai over McAllister. Mate, for me, Jones, McAllister starts. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe taking him out for a week or two. For the guy to obviously not play as many games, properly recover, and when a guy's not on form, sometimes it's good to take him out. We saw that with Canate last year. He didn't play the best. He's come back a complete beast. You can't take away the way how good McAllister is as a footballer. And okay, you know what? Question: is it a coincidence Marcus Dippers come when we faced aggressive man-to-man pressing footballing teams on the big day? Give me Grav, Curtis, and Sobo. McAllister for me starts. That's just the way it is. On the big day, you want guys with cojones. You want guys that have been there and done it. And McAllister is still our best midfielder. Yes, Gravenberch has been our best midfielder and he played unbelievably well. Curtis Jones is probably in the form of his life right now, but McAllister is our best midfielder. He's the footballer in our team. He possesses everything. He's aggressive when he needs to be. Of course, he doesn't lack the pace that obviously the rest of our midfielders possess. But come on, man. Yeah, the guys had 3 or 4 bad games, and we've got flipping tacticals like Asim come on here and say he's not good. Flipping.
I think he's definitely struggled with imposing.
Yeah, there's a limit, man.
I think he's struggled with imposing himself though in these big games. Brighton, Arsenal.
He's going through a bit of bad form. You've got Jones, with respect. Jones has played. He's in the form of his life, so I can understand you when you come to me and say, you know what, Cheen, you have to start Jones. Yes, I can accept that. When a footballer's off form and he's had a bit of a niggle and an injury, yes, you play your best team that's available, especially when they're banging form. So players like Jones, Jones and Gravenberch completely understand they start, right? In terms of Szoboszlai, I start Szoboszlai simply because I rave about his work rate. And yeah, people will give me shit saying that, on the ball, and like you have in the past, you've given me a lot of crap saying he hasn't been good enough on the ball. He hasn't been good enough. But what he gives us when he plays is unbelievable levels of intensity, unbelievable levels of press. He's the only player that can be really up and down, and he helps us out on the right hand side, which he's good enough to run beyond. He sets our press every single time. So he starts. He will come good. People will give me shit saying he hasn't been as good. He will come good. But a fit McAllister, when he's sort of firing, is still our best midfielder. And a fit McAllister will be playing for Liverpool in that midfield. Regardless of Jones, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, McAllister starts.
Sleepy, Forse agrees that Sobo holds his bench. And then he's coming for you, comparing to Valverde. That was Cheen. Cheen did a
Sleepy, leave me alone, man.
Cheen gave Szoboszlai an individual show. Cheen gave Szoboszlai an individual show and saying that Szoboszlai's done this, Szoboszlai's done that, Szoboszlai's done this. He's running. He reminds me a little bit of Federico Valverde. He's not the first time, and it won't be the last time. He throws bombs like that. Where he throws absolute idiotic comments. That's him in a nutshell. Let me take that. Right, one second. We've got a whole book. It's like an archive book. It's like my book of ITK where I've got everything wrong. He's got a book of all the blurbs that he said and it's all flat on his face. He's fallen flat on his face.
I need to
address
Sleepy.
We need to move on. No.
We can't. Go. I need to address Sleepy. Sleepy, yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. I've been watching the shows over the last few weeks, yeah, and all I've seen on your comments is you have been lying. That means having a go at McAllister. You're lucky, bro. I want you on a show one day, bro. On a call-in show, I want to come on with just me and you, because you were annihilating him and kept on messaging the same message, and I saw you 100 times. Listen, McAllister is still our best midfielder. He will come good. And as regards to Valverde comment on Dominic Szoboszlai, look, he's doing the one thing that we thought he had was a shot. Yeah, everybody over here thought that, you know what, he's got an unbelievable shot before he joined Liverpool. Yeah, he was up and down. It was actually not the off the ball skills that we were worried about, because his on the ball skills were what was so good about him. But so he has to become good, man. There will be a time where he will come good. I think the on the ball skills in terms of
you know, Valverde, yeah, Asim will like this term. Asim will probably love this term.
Yeah, you and your terms.
I
Where did you nick it from, Ave?
No, it's not this one. Valverde is industrious. Industrious, I mean, he's got product. So Bosman right now only has got one facet. He's brilliant at pressing. He can harass the opposition in that final third. His running is immense. He's got the energy. But Valverde is a whole industrious product. He's got everything to his game. He can pass, he can tackle, he can shoot, he can get the odd goal, he can create, he can press. He's a road runner, marathon man, whatever you want to call him. He's the whole package. So, boss, sorry, Gina, that was a bit of a terrible take. But you're
going to come back to me. You're going to come back to me one day.
I will. I want to come back to you. I want to bow down and say, Gene, you were right. Gene, moving swiftly on now. Okay, don't get ahead of yourself. I know you're back from PK and you're refreshed, but please, okay? Some of us haven't had a break, okay? Where shall I go to? There's so many contracts. Mo Salah, this will be good because you haven't been here to see. So Mo Salah has been putting posts up, comments up. Today he had like a smoothie in his hand. Obviously enjoying that new coffee bar they've got at Kirby. Obviously, he said last week on a post, look, no matter what happens, I'm here. Something along the lines, you know, like whatever the future holds, I want to say that I love scoring in front of the Kop. Trent Alexander-Arnold in November, if you've been watching, like you have, you know I've been saying in the last 2 weeks that I'm very nervous now. I'm very worried about what's going on with Trent's contract. With Virgil, less so. I do believe he will sign, and I do believe he's probably the furthest along. What in the F is going on, Cheen? Because next week will be the middle of November. No sign. Christmas is around the corner. New Year's around the corner. 2025 hits. And before we know it, all three potentially have left the club.
Virgil van Dijk, Avi, look, we'll start with Virgil van Dijk. I think 95% of us will say that he's going to sign the contract, yeah? I think he's obviously said he's in talks. He signs the contract. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I said in April, Trent Alexander-Arnold will not be a Liverpool player in a year's time. I think he's off. And I still maintain that position.
You've been adamant on that for the last 6-7 months, to be fair to you.
I have. And I just think his time's up. Meaning he wants out. What we're seeing in terms of, you know, how the contract's playing out, obviously November, this is shambolic from the club.
But Cheen, you can't tell. Okay, but Cheen, you can't.
Shambolic from a club in terms of signing players. Shambolic in terms of contracts. So I'm sorry, but look, we have to put some context on this. We sat here on I think this 1st, 2nd of September saying, okay, we effed up the transfer window. Yeah, we effed it up in meaning we didn't get the player that we wanted. We only signed a Chiesa for 12 and 13 million pound, a position that we signed. Yes, I was raving about him, but it wasn't a position that we really, really needed. Okay. Sign the contracts then. We said, okay, if that money was going to be used to get the contract signed, let's sign, let's see, wait and see what happens. We're sat here in November. None of them are signed. It doesn't feel as though anything's happening with Salah's contract as of yet, from what we're seeing in terms of what Salah's been posting. In terms of Trent, what's happened? Jack all.
But Gene, you can't.
Yes, they're talking.
You can't tell me
they're
the
talking. Yes, they're talking. Talking. What's that to talk about? You're offering 400 grand a week. He signs the contract.
You're prepared to pay him 400k a week, just like you were prepared to throw 100 million bills on Adam Morton.
350 grand a week. Offer it to Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he signs.
You don't think that we've offered anywhere near that, in your opinion?
I think we're gonna give Trent maximum 300. But I think deep down, Avi, he wants out, man. And that's one of the reasons why.
It's not on the club. So when you come for the club, it's not on the club then.
Who's
because you just said it's the club's fault. If they're not, but then you're just saying you're saying deep down, you think he wants out.
Yeah, I do.
So which one is it? Either the club has failed or Trent just wants out, regardless of what they offer.
Clubs failed because you should have. Why it's failed? I mean, it's not rocket science. It's a massive failure on the club. It's a huge failure on the club. How can you say it's not a huge failure on the club?
No, I'm not saying it's a failure, but you said two things. You said two things which were polar opposites. You said the club.
I'll tell you why it's
you
on
don't
the
think the
club.
club's doing
I'll
enough.
tell you why it's
But
on
then
the
you're
club.
saying,
Avi, no, I'm going different angle. What I'm trying to say is on the club. We're gonna let him go for free. You could have signed a contract with him 2 years ago. If that isn't good enough, you get rid of him a year later. If he didn't want to go 2 years ago, you get him signed up. So it's on the club, isn't it? You're letting a 26-year-old best right back, probably in the history of the football, by the time he's finished his career, let him go for free. So who's it on, my dad? It's on the club, isn't it? This is what I don't understand. How is it on the club? Ali, it's on the club, bro. You should have signed this contract 2 years ago, and you should have never let it get to this position. He might have signed 2 years ago. But when it's completely different now. So it's on the club. If a player, it's your job to convince the player to stay, number one. If you've not gone to him 2 years, and now we're into the last few months, Trent's going to wait until the end, right? I genuinely believe, I think, you know what? He wants to go. But a year and a half ago, he might not want to go. Jude Bellingham was not at Real Madrid a year ago, Avi. His best mate. And that's might be one of the reasons why he wants to go. We could have signed. So who's that on? Gone?
you want my opinion?
No,
I think that
who is that on? Isn't that on
Yeah.
the club? Isn't that on the owners, the club, whoever's dealing with all that sort of shit?
This is the Gina. This is when you know Gina's truly back because he comes for his own. Gina, I think the club have offered him a very lucrative deal. In my again opinion, not in the know. Please, not in the know. Okay, that game is done now. I think the club have offered him a lucrative offer to sign, and I think they've knocked it back. And I think the figures that you're saying, 400k a week, I don't think you're far off. I don't think you're far off. I'm not too sure the club is willing to pay that. I'm not too sure the club is willing to pay that.
400 grand a week.
I don't know if I would pay that if I had that kind of money for him. Just my thingy. And I said at the beginning of the season, I'm not sure Slot is too worried either if Trent was to leave. Funnily enough, I don't think he would be too worried. But the way Slot wants to set up, I wouldn't be too worried. That I don't think he's too worried if Trent says bye-bye and goes on a free. Where I do feel the club is culpable is not getting fucking money for him. He's exactly like Michael Owen. 100% I agree. Michael Owen was sold for peanuts, 8 million. Right? 8 million. Right? And then we got Antonio Nunes in that. It's going to be a shit show if he goes on a free and he gets his sign-on fee for 40 million. That's his own terms and his brother, whoever's doing that. That's where I feel the club have let themselves down in a big way. And someone is responsible. I wouldn't say the owners, but whoever's been in charge, like Mike Gordon or the board of directors, whoever, Billy Hogan, whoever in that time, the last 2 years, was doing contracts or sorting out contracts, Shamatke, Julian Ward, all involved, they've made a shit show of that.
Still there fucking defending the owners here. Still throwing it on
John Henry's not on the negotiation table, is he? John Henry is not on the negotiation table, is he?
Your prized asset, yeah? You're telling me, bloody, the world didn't know what's Liverpool's prized asset. Trent Alexander-Arnold is Liverpool's prized asset. So, you know what? The owners didn't know that their prized asset was Trent Alexander-Arnold. And they did, come on, Avi, man.
Does this have any weight from Pradeep? I think Trent wants to leave because of the club's ambition. I don't think salary is an issue.
Well, if it's ambition, right? If it's ambition right now, we're top of the table and top of 4 out of 4 in the Champions League. That's ambition. That's saying that this side is good enough to challenge. But look, Avi, I can understand to an extent that if we went and did some business in the summer, bought in the couple of players that we really needed to actually really go again and challenge. We're challenging, and now what I'm saying is give us more help in terms of injuries. If we were to get any more injuries, we've still got backup players that are good enough to take this team forward. Then yeah, I can understand it. But in terms of ambition, Avi, it's crazy, man. I don't want Trent to go. I want Trent to sign that contract. But I think I'm with you in terms of I don't think I'd pay him 400 grand a week to stay.
So you agreed with me. Attack the club, saying that Trent wants out. Which one is it? You're going round and round in a circle. So you would.
I'm giving you I have my own personal opinion on a player.
I would not even pay Trent.
I do want him to stay.
I would not pay Trent between 350 to 400 a week for a right back. I wouldn't pay that. I wouldn't pay that for him.
What would he pay Salah right now?
Salah would give him the world. Mohamed Salah would give him the world. He's been here for 7-8 years. He's producing the numbers. There is no sign of slowing down. And usually you say he's slowing down. I said He's on that category, that spectrum of Messi, Ronaldo, where at 35,
my
36,
Salah,
37,
mate.
he will be scoring goals.
Where are the guys that were giving me shit about Salah this and Salah that? Putra Chona, comparing him to Eden Hazard. Where are the Hazard boys now, bro? Bring them on, mate. Come on, I'm sure he's in the comments. Aija, I'll teach you about Eden Hazard and Mohamed Salah today. No, because when Avi, one thing with me is I'll never ever go for somebody when he's not on show. I'll never ever go at somebody when I'll only ever go at that person if he's here. He had a few digs at me over the last couple of weeks when I wasn't there. Yeah, so you know, I wasn't there to back myself up. I'm here now.
Sunday,
I'm
justice will be served. Justice will be served. Kieran Thorne, one of the regulars, shut up. I mean, what was he trying? What's that referring to? I would give Salah what he wants. I would give Salah what he wants. I was worried about this season.
Do you remember the show? Do you remember the show when we said who's gonna sign the contracts?
No, I think Salah. Look, okay.
Are you changing now? Yeah.
No, I've been changing. I said I'm worried about Trent. As of today, I'm also worried about Mohamed Salah. I'm very worried about Mohamed Salah. And I did tweet something that I think PSG will come in for him. I kind of think that Nasser Al Khalifa does want Mohamed Salah at all cost at PSG.
He does.
He wants a star name. He's lost Mbappe. Goncalo Ramos hasn't done it. Barcola's a good player. Dembele in and out of that team. I think he wants Mohamed Salah at any cost. And if I've led to believe of what I know, Nasser Al Khalifa does also want a club in Saudi. So I think Aston could maybe elaborate more on Sunday because I know he has strong connections.
If Salah goes, I'm rioting, mate. Salah goes, I'm rioting, mate. They don't get Salah the contract, mate. We're going on the flippers, mate. I'll tell you straight.
You think Salah signs them? You think Salah signs them? You said Trent's gone.
Okay.
Salah.
Okay, are you ready for this? I said if Trent, I think it was about a month and a half ago. I think one player signs. I don't think Salah's getting the contract. So I think this. Right? This is not flipping it.
For you, Salah should be. For you, Trent should be.
Said this a while ago, mate.
For you, Van Dijk
stays.
Yeah.
I have been saying this for a long time.
I said 2 out of the 3. I think 1 out of the 3 as well now.
So you've changed now, yeah? After giving me shit.
Yeah, of course I can change. Kyo, why can't I change?
But don't give me shit when I change.
But Cheen, I'm not like you. I admit when I change my mind. I admit I was wrong.
It's like you're changing the title. Listen, we have our start of the season predictions. Yeah, check this out, guys. We have our start of the season predictions. I got Liverpool's going to win the title. He goes, Liverpool's going to win the title. 3 weeks later, he changes. And then 6 weeks later, he's with me again. Then I've got Sarib. Arsenal's going to win the title. Odegaard gets injured. Liverpool's going to win the title.
Oh, no, Cheen. Arsenal and City Man City over here. Arsenal Man City over here. We're here.
I'm not here. I'm going to talk about that on Sunday, bro. That's on Sunday.
We will have our fun with Asim and Sarib, aka the A team on Sunday. Yeah, we're happy to be the B team.
I miss him, man. It's been
B team's more relaxed.
That's what it is. I'm showing you love, man.
More relaxed. So that's contracts out of the way. There's been a lot of talk on a French football player. That's why I said bonjour at the beginning of the show. Aurélien Tchouameni. Cheen, we've been on this journey before with him. 2022, when we were kind of very close to signing him. Apparently, word has it, he had given Klopp his word, was very much interested. We played Real Madrid in the Champions League final, and then it kind of goes pear-shaped, and he goes Real Madrid. He's had a bit of a tough time in the La Liga in the last year or so. Last 7-8 months for sure, playing centre-back at times. The midfield area has struggled for form. Fans of Los Blancos have gone in for him. What do you think happens, Cheen, with Tchouameni? Do you think it's just a bit of hot air, or do you think there's legitimate talk about Tchouameni to Liverpool?
Just quick question, Avi. Was Edwards wasn't there when we were after Tchouameni, was there?
He was. I think he was.
Was? Okay. Look, I know he's not the best, like you mentioned, a year, maybe probably a year, but I would bite my hand off for Tchouameni, man. I've wanted him a long time. I wanted him then. A year later, I wanted him. I would go in for Tchouameni, man, and get that played in. I know you guys will say to me, Zubamendi this, Zubamendi that, yeah, but people had, I think you mentioned that he's been that this. Zubamendi's been the. Oh, by the way, your call of Zubamendi's been the best midfielder in the La Liga this season. I don't know where you got
There
that
was
call from,
context.
Avi.
There was
Avi, that
context.
was an
There was
absolutely
there was
abysmal shout. Yeah,
there was context. There was context behind
that
that.
was a
You got to
ridiculous
remember
shout.
the team he's playing for, the players that they've lost. Kubo has let them down this season. Moreno left. Lucas Sucic has just come in. He's betting himself in that
You
team.
can't say he's been the best midfielder in La Liga.
Olafable hasn't been great. That Sociedad team has been struggling. But did you see the clinic he put on against Seville?
Best midfielder in La Liga.
Did you see him against Seville? Did you see him against Seville?
Avi,
And just to let you know, Tchouameni, I don't know how much you watch of him, Gina. Characteristically, he's very sane. He's characteristically, he's about the same as Gravenberch. So you're disrupting his progress. I don't think they can play in a two. I don't think they can play in a two. You think they can play in a two?
Why? Of course they can play in a two, man. Why can't Tchouameni and Gravenberch play?
For me, Tchouameni. Thank you, Luciano.
I know Tchouameni.
Luciano Scapati. Tchouameni, I think, is the wrong profile of the midfielder that we need.
This is back to you lot on this flipping possession base. Kursi. I'm telling you right now, we are. I know. Look, I know you. I saw your poll about Tchouameni and or Zubamendi. I would go for Tchouameni every single. I want Tchouameni over Zubamendi, man.
The majority said
Zubamendi's a good player, great player, whatever.
The majority did say Zubamendi.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a million miles ahead. I saw the comments. There was quite a lot of people that wanted to Tchouameni as well. And this is a guy that's performed.
When I look at Gravenberch and Tchouameni, I'm looking at very similar players profile as well. And I'll argue with anyone. You can bring me everything.
All the talent.
Your rescout, all the stuff that you want.
There are some players, Avi. There's some players that go to Real Madrid and don't cut it. That does not mean they're not great players. They just didn't quit at Madrid because Madrid either makes you or it breaks you. And we've seen the likes of Arjen Robben go there. Wesley Schneider go there, didn't work out. Man goes to Bayern Munich and absolutely annihilates it, wins Champions League. Schneider goes to flipping Inter Milan and completely takes piss. Odegaard, Sarib mentions another one. Odegaard was very, very young though, so things can go wrong when you're pretty young. But honestly, Tchouameni, man, Avi, he's possessive. I want a bit of a workhorse. I want a bit of a Kuta in there. And this is what Tchouameni is very underrated, I think. We're just thinking about how good he's been in that team. Of course, look, there's you have to look at how well he's played over the last year, and he hasn't been great. But still, how old is Tchouameni? Yeah, was he 24?
23.
Come on, man. Zubamendi's 25. Trust me, the kid has all the attributes. Even when I've seen him play for France, he plays really well in the Euros a couple of years ago. Was the Euros the World Cup? Yeah, in the World Cup, Tchouameni had a brilliant World Cup when he played.
He scored he scored that goal against England, didn't he?
I thought he had a really good tournament. So we can't knock him because of a bad season.
No one's knocking. I think the profile of player that we want, I think it's more Zubamendi, Pablo Barrios, rather than a Tchouameni, another sort of, physicality, brutal, destroyer, such. Huh? Sorry?
He's not just a destroyer, man. Come on, Avi.
No, he's got more passes to his game, but I think we've got that in Gravenberch.
24.
Thank you, Red Indian.
Tchouameni 24. Tchouameni, I think he possesses a lot more. But you know what? Look, right now, boys, beggars can't be choosers. Give me bloody Zubamendi or Tchouameni, and I'm happy. Of course, if I had the choice, I'd go Tchouameni.
One name I want to flick to you is from Abdur Rahim. Who got said that right? Is Marmoush, Omar Marmoush. What do you think of him?
The guy's taking the piss out of the German league right now. Every time I see him, he's banging him. He scored I don't know if you saw his free kick yesterday, Avi. I saw on Twitter, Rami free kick. Yeah, so I was like, bro, this guy's got it in him, man. This guy, he looks a good player. He looks a really, really good finisher. Maybe it's a one for the future, man. We keep an Egyptian player. It'd be good for us. I do like him, and it's a position that we probably do need a number 9, especially if you look at the likes of Jota and he's how injury prone he is, and of course, Darwin still has. There's still question marks over Darwin. So I think it's a position that if we went in for him, but I think we'd have to sell one of 20, he's 26 already. Sleepy goes. I think we'd have to sell one of Jota or Darwin to bring him in, and I don't think he's going to be cheap. He's going to cost.
Nathan Quinn says Zubi fits the system right now.
Yeah, I can accept. Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned this. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, mention that Zubi fits the system a lot better than Tchouameni. Probably does.
Gene, if we don't get Zubi,
probably does.
You know who I want?
Pablo Barrios. Yeah. To be fair, and I hate doing this, but you know I have to do it. I have to give you your flowers again, mate. You mentioned when we didn't sign Caicedo. When we actually didn't sign Caicedo, you said we should go get Baleba. We should have got Baleba. We should have got Baleba, and he's been fantastic. Does he fit the system? Does he fit the system? One system or yeah.
I think he's got tremendous legs. Yes, a little bit similar to Gravenberch, but he's got a lot more to his game than a Tchouameni. He has potentially a lot more to his game than a Tchouameni. That doesn't mean that Tchouameni. That doesn't mean Tchouameni is a bad player. I rate Tchouameni. I wanted him more than anything. Maybe the hurt of him rejecting us makes me dislike him, but Tchouameni is a brilliant player. Borderline world class. He can perform at a world class level. CB Voice, yeah, this is what I do agree as well. Baleba is like maybe too, yeah. But I think he's got more physicality about him. I think he's a bit of a more power runner than Gravenberch, with and off the ball as well, than a Gravenberch. I think Gravenberch is a little bit more silkier with the ball, if that makes sense. Asim throwing us a question. I don't know how this has become a transfer show, but here it is. Asim question: what do you make of Alvaro Fernandez Carreras from Benfica? He was at United, Asim. He's a very talented left back. I'm not sure if United have a buyback. I'm pretty sure they don't. He is very talented. And I said to you yesterday on privately, I don't think he's on our radar. I have made it known that Milos Kerkez has been on our radar, and maybe Castello Luqueba is on our radar. But I know Milos Kerkez, when I had got little snippets, when he was at AZ Alkmaar, he was very much liked. So let's see. But yeah, he's a tremendous talent. Kerkez. I would like to know whose agent is Asim. I hope it's not Jorge Mendes. If it is, I don't think we deal with it. So there you have it with that. Gina Diego Jota. Couple of years now, 18 months now, I've been saying we needed to cash in 60, 70 million at the time, 50 even at a stretch. I was getting ridiculed. I was getting sent abuse, insults, personal abuse too. My family, what's my family done? But here we are. Apparently I don't know what it is, but he's got a bit of a nasty injury, a punctured lung, I think it was. But it does seem that he's going to be out for another 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm not sure. Some are saying they don't even see him coming before Christmas. But Diego Jota now, Cheen, has the time come where we need to cash in the summer?
Yeah. And this is me flipping who bloody supported and flipping always wanted Jota to start, man. But you just simply can't carry any passages in this league. And we've given him enough time to prove himself. And the thing that pisses me off, and I'm sorry with my swearing, is I know he's got the talent. When he plays, he scores goals. It's these shitty injuries he gets. Yard, who gets a punctured lung? Come on, yard. Look, Diego Jota.
It's twice that he's had people.
Who gets a 6'5" guy falling on top of a knee? That doesn't happen. It happens to Diego Jota. I know people say Diogo, but yeah, it's Diego to me.
He's had some nasty injuries. That's the injury as well was nasty. Hamstring.
Remember that shitty game that we fucking played once in the Champions League? No,
Midtjylland.
Yeah, Midtjylland. We didn't even need to play him. Got injured. Yeah, I don't understand, man. But you know what? Yeah, to be fair, most goals he was before.
That was his comment at the beginning of the season. Gucci up. He must be one of us. He must be one of the groupies because he's calling him out. What happened to Jota banging 20 goals? He's been mid and scored 4. Let's keep it clean, please, guys. Let's keep it clean. Yeah, Cheen. Yeah, I think he's got 5 this season, which isn't a bad return in 10, 11 games, but it is the injuries. It is the injuries that are very frustrating. Look, some are self-inflicted, some aren't. The last 2 injuries that he's had, the Brentford one last season and today, the one against, who was it? Was it against Chelsea, was it? Was it against Chelsea? Yeah, it was against Chelsea, wasn't it? Because Nunes came on, yeah. They haven't been his fault, but it is a regular occurrence. And it's getting, is getting frustrating. Asim posed the question. You said Jota. Yeah, 100%. 50, 60 million. I think we could still get 50.
We sell him as long as we bring in an adequate replacement. Yes.
You know, he would be brilliant at Arsenal. I really do believe he would be brilliant at Arsenal. Odegaard behind him. I think Jota would be brilliant for an Arsenal. Just playing up front. But look, teams will be looking at his injury record and whatnot. Cheen, where can we move to next? Ruben Amorim. Haven't asked you about that appointment from United. I know it's away from him.
I don't want to talk about their coaches. I don't like talking about their shit.
Aston Villa, Unai Emery, good team. I know they're in a bit of a slump, but they'll want to prove themselves tomorrow at Anfield. We did batter them last season. I think it was 4-0. So Bosley got a really good finish. Nunes was all over the place, in a good way, chaotic, setting up. I think scored as well. How do you see the game going tomorrow? It's 8 p.m. kickoff, which is weird. That it's an 8 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday. But give me your thoughts.
Difficult game. Like you mentioned, they're going through a bit of bad form. I think they've lost the last few. They lost against that Club Brugge in the Champions League as well, going through a bit of bad patch. But knowing Liverpool's look, the team will turn up against Liverpool and they'll have a good game. And it's not going to be an easy game. They're a good side. Emery's always, he's a good coach. He plays the right way. We know the way he plays, and he'll cause us problems. But the way we're playing right now, Avi, I can't see anybody. I can't see many teams in world football that are going to stop this Liverpool team right now. Because even when you play well and you do stop us, we find a way, because Arne Slot will find a way. And we've only not found a way once this season. That was against Forest, but that was pretty early on to the season. The way he tweaks his in-game management, where he manages to make these little changes, these tweaks, you got to give Arne a lot of credit, man. And I know Asim mentioned that this guy is a proper coach. He is a proper coach, and we're seeing the fruition. We're seeing this in fruition now. He's showing how good of a coach he is. And honestly, Avi, every game that we go into, I think we're going to batter them. We might not batter every team, but I go in very confident.
You don't think we're peaking too early, Gene?
Have we peaked? I don't think we've peaked. How have we peaked? Who's peaked over the 10 games? Who's peaked from Liverpool's football? Salah's played well. Diaz, okay, he's gone above a level.
Gravenberch played well. Gakpo played well. Canate's played well. Van Dijk's played well.
They will open. Van Dijk. Listen. Van Dijk. We have still got a lot of players that need to perform. McAllister, our best midfielder, isn't at the races. Isn't at the races yet. Darwin isn't at the races yet. Our fullbacks are in. Fullbacks have done absolute decent defensively. Yeah, that's it. Trent hasn't done anything. Oh, 100%. I give you Mohsin. I give you a lot of credit for that. Tsimikas, man, what an unbelievable. What a player, man, especially over the last 4 or 5 games. Honestly, man, to put in the performances that he's done, that he's put up, man, you got to give the lad a load of credit and hats off to him. Our Greek scouts, I even know a tweet about him saying that there was a game, I felt he was man of the match in. I can't remember which game it was over the last couple of weeks, but he was man of the match in that game. And look, fair play to him. He starts above Robbo now, and that's, you got to give if Tsimikas, my Wi-Fi password, I called him, a lot of credit, man.
How do you think the weekend's games go, Gene? Especially with the top 3. We've got Arsenal, who are away to Chelsea. We've got City away to Brighton. Give me your predictions on those 2 games.
It's going to be I think teams will drop points. I think we won't.
So you think we're going to open up a lead now?
Yes. Okay. We're gonna talla, inshallah, talla Aston Villa, because Man City are gonna drop points. When Man City drop points, boys, they are the jaw. Because then it's Southampton, and then it's that big one against them fuckers at Anfield, and they're gonna get it.
I think December 1st is a pivotal day as we play City at home. And if you've got a 5 to 6 point lead already we've already got a 5-6 point lead on them, and we beat them. Wow, we open it up. We do open it up. Cheen, give me a prediction for tomorrow. Give me your front 3 tomorrow. Who's your front 3? Is he gone off again? No, he's there. Cheen, who's your front 3 tomorrow?
It's my front 3 same, man. We go with Darwin. We go with Diaz and Salah.
Also, Gakpo back to the bench.
Yeah. Yep.
And in midfield 3 tomorrow?
Midfield 3. Tomorrow, Jones,
Szoboszlai.
Soboslai, and Gravenberch.
You do talk some common sense once in a while, Gina.
I
So,
look, listen. I will always say if I'm wrong about something, I will say it. If somebody player's not playing well enough, Salah, yeah, I will say it. Just don't say anything wrong about Salah. The rest I can live with, boys.
and it's only right, Gina. I'll let you take the floor. We've waxed lyrical on him. He stayed fit. We were worried about the broken hand, finger, whatever it was on the weekend, but Ibrahima Canate.
Right, honestly, that was such a huge relief. He's been a colossal this season. The amount of times the way he's played, Avi, he's been fantastic. Even on the ball, Avi, there are obviously a lot of teams now. They'll obviously press Van Dijk. They'll let Canate have the ball. Even his passing is gone up a notch, and he's been unbelievable. He's shown how good. Look, we always knew Canate's got the ability. It was just his availability that was the issue. But right now, he's shown how good he is. He's done fantastically well. I just hope he can stay fit. Doesn't get and luckily it was a stupid injury. It wasn't like like a hamstring or a muscle injury which he always picks up. This time it was just obviously Van Dijk stood on his finger or something. But honestly, let's get it going. He's an unbelievable footballer, and if he can stay fit, Garib, Dua, where's the Saliba, Shiba, and Gabriel Chalier? Where are they? Uttar, we deep down, people who know the game knew that these two centre backs, Van Dijk and Canate, there is not a centre back do better than these two when they're on it. And these two are on it. We don't play with 4 centre backs, bro. We don't play with 2 holding midfielders. Canate and Van Dijk have always played with 2 full backs bombing forward. Even our midfielders, we don't really have proper sixes like Saliba. Saliba and Gabriel all have all the protection in the world, mate. These 2 centre backs don't. That's why they're better than. They are the best 2 centre backs in world football when they are on it. We've seen that this season. Yeah, we've seen that this season, man. We've seen it this season. I don't even need to tell anybody, and anybody that wants to talk about this needs to understand these 2 are the best in the world when they're on it. Because the way Liverpool have played, we played the most risky football. We play the most risky football. It's full throttle football. The guys in London, they play flipping 10 men behind the ball, and they call them the best centre back duo in the world football, bro. That's because you got flipping half of your team's defensive. That's why you're only scoring a goal one goal, 2 goals every game. It doesn't work like that. You got to look at the risk and reward. And this is why who's got the best defensive record this season, boys? Show me Arsenal's. I mean, live seen it. This. Did I not call it the start of the season? It's going to be a Liverpool City title race, have I? Did I not tell you that?
There's been some shocking outtakes from the group.
City title race.
There's been some shocking outtakes from you, Asim, and Sarib. I think I'm the only one who's been sensible throughout the season. I've been sensible.
The chickens have come home to roost, my brother.
I did start some comments. Zaid member, that's why Asim, Asim in the group tried to be a funny one. Have you heard about Murillo today? Did you hear the Murillo rumor today from the Lineker podcast? We will not be getting Murillo. He's a good defender. He's a bit too short for us. We won't be getting him. Tejas, my favorite double team, B team. I want to add are back on the channel. Hey, the B team are back. Thank you so much, Tejas, for the love. Thoughts on Rio? I'm not going to say his last name. Nogumua. Training with the first team. I think it's great for the kid. I liked his interview as well. He seems very, very confident about where his path is, about where he's going. He wants to be the best. He said, look, I want to be as good as Ronaldo and Messi. And there's nothing wrong with that. People said, oh, I don't like the self-confidence. It seems to be an ego. Well, you know what? When you're that age, you need a bit of an ego. You do need a bit of an ego. If you want that mentality, if you want to succeed, you need to have a bit of an ego. So, no, I think training with the first team, it can only bode well. And he's making headways, serious headways. He's a talent, isn't he, Cheen?
Yeah, he's a serious talent. And I loved Asim's tweet today about the academy must be proud about about their prospect, the young prospect joining the first team, man. And look, fair play to the kid. He looks like a proper talent. Every time I've seen clips, I don't really watch the under-21s, I'll be honest, but I see clips of him, and I know you've been raving on about him on our group, saying, bro, when we signed him, that this guy is the business. So there's Ali mentions that Rio and Trey, they're 2 players who look like they have the talent to make it. The next 2 that look like they can probably make it into this Liverpool team. And I know there's other players that you've mentioned, the Morrison kid as well, Avi, that you rave about. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really watch too much of our youth football. I leave that to Avi. But
the only youth players that
okay,
started with the
looks.
Gina watches, he starts saying that they're going to be Ballon d'Ors, like Fabio Carvalho. Can't even get a game, can't even get a minute at Brentford. But
Yeah,
yeah,
listen,
here
I
we
was
are.
messing about, man. Yeah, this is the problem with you, lot. Right? When you say something, Amy, yeah, you don't take it serious. But you know what? Look, I'm there to be cooked on that comment. I
Serious
accept
as my
it.
ITK. You're as serious as my ITK takes. Okay. Public sector director. He's the only one that says my audio is dreadful. So I think I do have a thingy. Gina, you need to let me know what mic you got. This Yeti, I'm gonna throw it in the bin today. Yeah.
You actually need a new mic. Have you? I invested in it. How much money you making on these stocks around? I saw you how much money you made on your stocks over the last few days, man. What's wrong with you? Put some money
Don't,
towards it,
don't,
man.
don't talk because they'll start saying I'm pro this or
I
pro
know, I
that.
know, I
Okay?
know, I know.
I just want
Yeah, I don't give a
peace in the
shit.
world.
I've seen how flipping with respect, Avi. I've seen how much in terms of when it concerns politics and all that sort of shit when it concerns Palestine. So I know with respect to everybody out there, don't come to me talking about politics now when Avi talks about politics, because when the genocide was going on, nobody gave a shit about it then, and we were afraid to speak about it then. So I'm sorry, but don't talk politics to me about Trump or anybody else when it concerns Liverpool, because that don't wash with me, mate.
Koi baat nahi, koi baat nahi. It's all love. It's all love for everyone. Everyone that even comes for me, us, the channel, whoever gets things, it's all love.
Don't give a
Gene,
shit.
what a comeback show. What a comeback
You know,
show.
I mean, I actually enjoyed this show. I was actually looking forward to it, and I thought, you know what, me and Avi, deep down, everybody knows,
It's never the same.
the other two, yeah,
We
they're
ain't
making
here
the
to talk
numbers. They're
tacticals. We ain't
boring,
here to
man.
be diplomatic. We ain't here to say Saliba and Gabriel the best centre back, and that Man City and Arsenal are levels ahead of us. We are pro, positive, over the top Liverpool fans. I'm sorry, but that's how it's going to be. Yeah, we will back our team. Okay. Sometimes I do get swayed away a little bit. I try to be partial. I try to be I try to be impartial. I try to be I don't like to be unbiased. But look, at the end of the day, we're both Liverpool fans and we love our football club. Whether we're in the relegation zone, whether we're mid-table, whether we're top of the league, we will always back our team. Yada pure,
100,
right?
100,
Back our
man,
team
100.
from the tail. Gene, anything else before we disappear? It's been a good, quick show as well, Fateh.
I know. You said to me, and you give me an extra 7 minutes today. I'll let you off. But honestly, fantastic show, guys. If you haven't liked and subscribed, do like and subscribe. Even the guys that are gonna come and watch the show afterwards. I promise you, there'll be a lot more shows coming your way. Now I'm back. The duo are back every Fridays with me, and him will be on. And yeah, the other two, we'll deal with them on Sunday.
So, I've got another show that I've got to run off to. I'm doing
Good
this
luck, mate.
UFC show. So I'm going on that, boys. Over and out. These been born and ready. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go and check out our sponsors at the bottom of the banner, schnuckleague.com, and go in there. If you like something that you do, I'm sure you will. Put in the discount code BNR10 for 10% off. Thank you very much. This has been Born and Red. Over and out. This Julia doesn't even know how to close the show, so I'm gonna have to do that as well on my end. But yeah, guys, have a blessed night. See you on the weekend. Hopefully, we pick up 3 points tomorrow. I'm sure we will. Good night. Over.
Okay.